right, good morning, everyone. I think it's still morning. Anyway, thank you for coming to join me today. We have a pretty interesting presentation, I think, for you. How to save X% on EPP and EDR. Just a little insider view on this. X was supposed to be replaced with an actual number. And when we did the research on this, we're like, you know what, the number, there's too many variables, so we decided to just leave it as X, because your mileage will vary. But we have definitely some very concrete numbers as we go through this, where you can apply this to your organization very specifically. So I'm not going to give you an actual number at the end, but you'll be able to kind of think about it as you go through it. So, with that said, threat landscape, of course, is changing every day. It gets a little more complex, etc. But I think that story is kind of an old one, right? We all know that threats get more sophisticated every day, etc. I think the real story we should be focusing on, what are the solutions we're actually using to address this threat landscape? That's where the conversation should be moving to. We know they're more complex. I think the conversation is, are you using the right solutions to address this? That's where the conversation needs to move. Now, organizations like yours care about a lot of different entities. We care about devices and identity and data, etc. And you're using a wide range of solutions to address all of this complexity in terms of the things you want to protect within your organization. And what most organizations do is they buy products from a number of vendors, right? You have dozens of vendors, maybe several dozens of vendors. I talked to one company recently where they had 40 different vendors bring in various pieces. Of course, there are large organizations that are providing most of it, but most of that is supported with additional point solutions to augment the things you get. And so when it comes to protecting devices, of course, we're talking about endpoint protection platform. Everybody's got something like that, maybe from McAfee or Symantec, CrowdStrike, maybe more recently from us. And of course, also people are looking increasingly towards EDR. Now, depending on the size of your organization, you may or may not be using something like that. But I can tell you everybody needs this because intrusions are happening at all levels of organizations, big and small, etc. So this is not just something for Morgan Stanley and the big companies with big budgets, but sadly, it requires a big budget to get to this, right? We have to be honest there. So EDR is, of course, going to get more simple over time, and we're going to democratize it, I think, for small organizations. But today, it's obviously something for large organizations to take advantage of. Or smaller organizations who are using that solution through an MSSP. So if you're a smaller sized business and you can't do it yourself, you don't have a SOC or a NOC, then maybe you can use MSSP to help you take advantage of something quite sophisticated. Now, with that said, when it comes to endpoint protection platforms, the customers I talk to, sometimes they're using one solution. Maybe they're using the McAfee Endpoint Protection Suite. Maybe it's CrowdStrike, Falcon, or whatever it happens to be. But what you also find is they're also adding additional point solutions around them. This typically happens on the larger organizations. Small organizations usually just go with the suite and they stick with that. But the big organizations recognize through their experience that they don't do everything, right? They need additional types of things. And so they go out and they seek out other types of solutions. Maybe they look for a best-of-breed application control solution, additional exploit protection, maybe from somebody like Traps, isolation technology, maybe through Bromium, maybe more recently from us, etc. So they tend to take these platforms and add a couple of things around that. And what we want to do is we want to end that, right? We want to give you a solution that can give you best of breed across all of the domains you care about: antivirus, EDR, application control, isolation. We want to give you one solution that does all of that, and Windows Defender ATP is that solution. Now, Windows Defender ATP has had a long journey. We marketed just over a year ago that this is an EDR product. That's all it is. It's just EDR post-breach. That is not the case anymore. The EDR platform that we built over a year ago was designed to become the platform for our entire stack for devices. So the ATP platform is not just for EDR, it also integrates the endpoint protection capabilities you need for antivirus, application control, isolation, exploit protection, etc. All of that is part of the suite. Now when we look at what's inside it, what are the capabilities and how we organize it? The first thing that we do that's somewhat unique in the industry is we put a lot of muscle and energy into attack surface reduction, right? If you're using a solution that is putting all of its wood behind detecting threats, and there's, by the way, about 5 billion threats that we detect every month, that's a pretty difficult challenge, right? You got to be perfect 100% of the time. But imagine if you could reduce the surface area of attack on your system dramatically, so that there's less likelihood that you'll be exploited, right? And that's a technique that is very, very hard to do. There are solutions out there today like HIPS, and there's endless other types of solutions, but the reality is most organizations don't use these types of technologies. It's just too hard. That's something that we're trying to make easy, and we have a bunch of solutions that we'll talk about tomorrow in our breakout session to talk about how we're taking things like application control and exploit protection, attack surface reduction controls, and making those easy to deploy in high-end environments and in even more medium-sized businesses. So attack surface reduction is something we invest in uniquely, and we do great work there. Now, of course, no solution would be complete without some sort of antivirus. Most people think about endpoint protection platforms, and AV is the first thing that comes to mind. And we have a next-generation protection solution or a next-generation AV solution that is completely rebuilt for the modern era. It's using machine learning, AI, these types of things to deal with threats, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So it also includes the antivirus capabilities and the firewall and all this types of things. Then we move into the post. This is the pre-breach side of the house, and then we move to the post-breach. Of course, we also have the EDR functionality. So when our pre-breach defenses fail, right, we can't be perfect 100% of the time. We do have probably one of the most sophisticated endpoint detection response solutions out there. We're able to detect the types of sophisticated threats that not everybody is detecting. In fact, when we deployed Windows Defender ATP's EDR functionality in our own environment, alongside one of the top leaders in the industry, ran both in parallel, we found that most of our actionable alerts in our own environment were coming from our solution, and they were not being detected necessarily by the alternative. Now, does that mean the other solution wasn't useful? No. EDR is in its infancy, and I don't think it's like antivirus where almost everybody's doing the same work, at least at the top end. EDR companies have their little niche, and there's this big overlap in the middle, and then everybody has their little piece that they do better than the next person. But in our own environment, most of the alert volume, greater than 50%, came from our own solution. So this is providing unique value against arguably the #1 leader out there. Now, something that we add that is unique to our solution is our automated investigation remediation. Everybody talks about automation in their solution, but I don't know of anybody who has anything quite like what we have. When an advanced intrusion happens and you have an attack that spreads out to multiple devices, and we have many files and processes in play, and we have all sorts of impact on the device, our investigation techniques are able to really size up the attack and understand the breadth of it and the depth of it, right? We have a flight data recorder that gives us a tremendous amount of data. With our Hexadite functionality, which we acquired about just over a year ago, we're able to get a playbook type of information, so we can take that great flight data recorder information and we can unwind the attack and bring the environment back to a pre-breach state. So that's something that really I don't know of anybody in a major suite. There's definitely point solutions you can buy, but I don't know of a big suite, something like FireEye or others, that have something to the degree that we have here in terms of automating the resolution and remediation of advanced intrusions in your environment. The next area that we have is security posture. Security posture, think of that as our security admin experience. So what we want to do is we want to drive you towards greater adoption of our technology so that you can be as secure as you possibly can be, and we're going to help you get the optics so you know where you could be configured in a more secure way, technologies that maybe you're not using to their full potential, etc. And then we also announced here with Microsoft Threat Protection a centralized console for security admins so they can get optics on what types of attacks have happened, which ones have been mitigated against or well defended against, so SEC admins will have a rich experience that they can refer to. So that's what ATP is in a nutshell. But let's talk about what you came here to hear about. Like, how is this going to actually save money? Now, with this sample organization of 15,000 employees, they were able to consolidate multiple solutions. So this is an organization, two organizations, that are actually three that Forrester surveyed that were using a endpoint protection solution, a series of other solutions around it to augment that. What they were able to find is roughly with this company that they were able to save about $3.2 million a year over a 3-year period, and that was based on licensing costs and time savings costs. So as you'll see on the slides that follow, there are things that we can deliver to you that are going to make it you're much more efficient in dealing with the types of threats you're facing. So think of this as just kind of the high-level overview about what the potential is. It's not really a great proof point, to be honest. It's just a statement we're making, but let's talk about some of the details, I think, that tease that out. So organizations that deploy Windows 10 and Windows Defender ATP can reduce their malware infection rates by about 10%. And this is what we've had 3 separate companies, these are large-scale companies, report to us that when they took the incumbent, in all 3 cases, these were big leader quadrant type people, when they moved to our solution, that they found in their experience that they were reducing less malware in the environment at a rate of about 10% roughly. And so it's not a big number. I know you'd like to see a big, huge number, but this is impactful, right? 10% less work for you to worry about. That's a big deal. And if this is a WannaCry type event, that could save the day, right? So this is an important number, even though the number is not statistically gigantic. Now, some of you think about our antivirus technology, and you are familiar with the history. Our history, to be honest, it's not great in the past, right? Many of you remember 2015, the years before, where our antivirus technology was not market leader, right? Absolutely. So we're still humble about that. We know where our past is. But what we did do is in 2015, we transformed our engine from ML to, we transferred it from signatures and things we call definitions, which are very static, to machine learning. So now we're detecting similarities. We're using AI, and now we can detect all the threats that we're able to, along with the big boys and gals. So if you look at AV test, which is oftentimes thought of as the benchmark for quality of an AV suite, you'll see that our scores for quite some time now are almost pegged at 100%. So we're doing great on that test. And actually, our performance actually goes back even further. You'll see that roughly at the beginning, mid-2015, we weren't pegged at 100%, but we're pretty darn close, a couple dips along the way. But now we're very consistent. But it's not just on one test, it's also on AV comparatives, which is another benchmark. We do actually even better on that test. And we've done that for quite some time, as you can see, a year. There's another test, and this one's more interesting. I think you should be thinking about this more. AV tests and AV comparatives tend to focus on more file-based threats, the very traditional things. SE Labs is actually looking at more fileless-based attacks. They're really trying to be unique in the market in that they're really going after the severe, more complex malware as part of their testing. So they avoid all the commodity stuff, and they really focus on the really challenging things. And we just recently got our first AAA rating there. So that's great progress. But here's something that I think is maybe more important than all of those tests. And this one feels like a test, but technically it's not. So many of you know what VirusTotal is. VirusTotal is a worldwide library of all malware samples in the world. And all of the vendors have their solution running in that environment. And everybody is taking this information for themselves and saying, how are we doing against all the threats that came in the last month or the last day? So we are constantly running our solution every single day against all the new threats coming in. What we found is if you look at Gartner leaders out there, we actually are outperforming some of the leaders by 30%. And this is important because malware comes for an hour and it disappears forever. If you're not staying on top of the threats that are happening now and you're just detecting the old stuff that's been around for a while that everybody's caught up with, that's not so interesting. So VirusTotal in this test, I think, is something everybody should be focusing on more. They don't publish this data. We had to grovel this out of the data store ourselves. But we found that we're better than 3 of the top Gartner Magic Quadrant leaders. And we also were, and actually the worst of all of that group was actually one of the biggest, most recognized visionaries that the Magic Quadrant recognized this year. So we have great antivirus technology. Our past is a little checkered, but over the last year, we were at the top of the game, and we're not going to relent on that. So you can trust our antivirus capabilities because of all these reasons here. So with that said, let's talk about proof point 3. Now, when Forrester went and interviewed these companies, they looked at the antivirus capability, and we got a 10% savings, maybe more in your environment. But what about post-breach? Right? Everybody has these EDR challenges, and we have intrusions that FireEye and our solution can detect. The thing that makes the difference between our solution and another is the automation that I talked about earlier. It's great that maybe FireEye or other solutions help you detect and investigate and then respond manually, but if you have automation that can do all the investigation and give you the full breadth of the attack that you're facing, and then automatically unwind it, bring you back to a pre-breach state, that's what you really want, and that's what our solution can do. And one of these customers claimed that 97% of the intrusion volume that they experienced in the past was getting automated out of their environment. So all that SecOps operator had to do was take a look at the investigation and either decide to pull the trigger on remediation, or they could actually enable it to automatically remediate on its own. And that's something that's very unique to our product. So let's talk about another proof point. For those of you who are running an on-prem solution versus one that's in the cloud, you are going to experience a dramatic savings. And why is that? Because your on-prem solution needs a planning, it needs ongoing maintenance, it needs ongoing patching, it needs somebody to scale it out. When you acquire a company and you bring another 10,000 PCs in your environment, somebody's got to figure out how do we reconfigure our environment to absorb this new scale, or just as you naturally grow. You're constantly having to think about this solution, keep it up and running, keep it at scale with your growing environment. And when you move to the cloud, and this would be true of our solution or even another solution that's all in the cloud, this is the type of savings you can make. So if you're sitting with an on-prem solution, or you have all that planning and patching, all that, you move to the cloud, that's instantly a huge amount of savings. And if you're a big company, this alone can pay all the money you need back so you can make that transition and start saving money. So this is a big deal, 20% savings on operations. Now here's something that you've been challenged with. I would expect that if your security people are in the audience, you know that there's a conflict between security and the IT team. The IT team wants their users to be very happy and productive with fast PCs, etc. And the security team feels like, hey, we need the best of breed security, and we're really not so concerned about that. So we're going to put these security solutions in the environment regardless of their performance implications potentially. And I say that kind of facetiously, it's not that bad, but the reality is there's a conflict between these two organizations. When you move to a solution like ours, where you're going to have fewer malware, and you're going to have fewer reasons to re-image your machines. In fact, these organizations reported that because of our solution, because of the automation that we can do on advanced threats, where they in the past would just re-image the machine and bring it back to the user, they're re-imaging machines 30% less. So think of the downtime that one user will experience when they have to go to IT or whoever they go to help desk to get a machine rebuilt. That's a big deal. Also, because Windows Defender ATP is built into Windows, guess what that means? That means the performance, in theory, can be also better. So we spend a ton of time making sure that the performance of our client, which is already built into the system, is as well integrated as possible. So the combination of performance benefits, meaning more power to the user to go get the work that they need done, less calls because of malware incidents that need to be resolved, and less re-imaging because of post-breach incidents, you're going to find users in your organizations can save 63 hours a year. And if you do the math on your wage, think about the impact, and then you multiply that across a large-scale organization. This can be an enormous number. So this savings is probably, I think, the most advantageous benefit of everything I talked about, is giving time back to the users so they can execute on the core mission of the business, which is whatever you do. So this is a big deal. So with that said, if we net it all out, if we're talking about a 15,000 user organization, here's the savings. Moving to our solution will cost you $1.68 million. The benefits that you reap over the 3-year period equate to $4.23 million, and this is related to pre- and post-breach incidents. That gives you a return on investment of 151% and a payback in about a year. It depends on your organization. A net present value of $2.55 million. So if you're in that range, smaller, bigger, you can kind of extrapolate that. We can definitely bring you some savings. And by the way, that savings doesn't come at the expense of great protection. We actually think we have proof points, hopefully some of you have seen today, that suggests that actually we give you the superior protection at the same time. So there you have it. Thank you very much for attending today's theater session. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take those now. Thank you.